Okay, so I'm now back in the city, but I just completed a morning drive to Pulsuki on this Jaecoo J6, and sorry, I did not vlog the entire trip because I had other passengers in the car, including camera people and sound people, so that I could focus on driving without having to worry too much about the shots and angles and everything. And I just wanted to share my reactions on this. Pulsuki is the tallest hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, around the valley of Kathmandu, which is already at in height compared to others, but the peak is about 2,700 meters and Kathmandu is about 1,400 meters. So that in feet, if you're more familiar, the top of that mountain was about 9,000 feet, I presume. Go check it up if you don't believe me. And it was an uphill. I started the journey at about 60%, and then by the time I came back, I was down to about 45%. So the uphill chunk took a majority of that 15%. And unfortunately, this car does not show you the efficiency and consumption, but like, oh my God, I love it. I absolutely love the fact that you can go off-road on this and not have to worry about it. Like, I met some pretty tall humps and bumps and rock crawl sections, especially towards the top. The lower quarter of the drive is decent. Single track, of course, the entire thing, pitched roads, and then you drop to a more rough cemented road, meant more to handle the off-roading sections, the tight bends and everything. And then the last, I would say 1/5 at least, the last 2 or 3 kilometers to the top was a really technical sort of off-road course that just ends at the army camp on top. And this thing just ate up that entire trail. It took me an hour to go up like 20 kilometers, stopping, of course, because I had to take footage here and there. But it just ate up the entire off-roading bit. Like, what? Really did not expect that, at least with that much of ease. Like, I was talking to my passengers and I was saying, this was a bit too easy, wasn't it? And let me tell you, I'm not here to talk about the articulation, the wheel spin amount, the torque delivery. No, this is an off-roader, I can tell. A rear wheel pushing off-roader. There is an all-wheel drive version of this car that is available in markets abroad with a bigger motor and traction on all 4 wheels as compared to this. But it just handled that entire steep climb up like nothing. Like this EV in front, that's the typical Kia EV6. That's the typical sort of electric vehicle you think about when you have an image of an EV. A low car meant to go fast. This one is on the sportier end of things, but that's the dynamics. But this car, center of gravity remains low because of that battery pack underneath, but because it's a 2-ton proper car, it just feels so planted. And even if you're sat up really high, the car still can perform statistics like 0 to 100 in about 10 seconds. And while I wouldn't say that's phenomenal in EV note in the EV diaries, but it's still really good. Like, even in eco mode, like, I am really surprised. You put your foot down and it does pull, like it does jolt you. Maybe not much as something else like that car would. The torque figure on this is about 220 Newton meters, which I know is almost 100 less than other cars compared to this size, the mid SUV size. But it still does the job, and I can't help but think the lower end torque numbers are because this car is just meant to climb and execute power, not torque. Like, it's not meant to go fast. But somehow body roll and everything is sort of contained. Like it does wag to the side now and then on like fast banks, but this car wasn't built for that. And oh yeah, back to the fact about why this was such an interesting drive. You would expect a loud gas guzzling off-roader to like let your entire surrounding know of like your climb up to the top, but in this car it was so silent. You could literally hear the birds chirping outside the window. You could hear the tire tracks, the rubble shuffle around, the rocks getting split out. You could hear the nearby twigs getting scraped and broken, and it was just such a surreal experience to be able to hear that and also not be drowned in your own exhaust fumes. Like when you go off-road, you are gonna rev the engine no matter what, whether it's a manual off-roader or a automatic, and you will smell gasoline in there regardless of petrol, diesel, whatever, biofuel. You didn't smell any of that in this. Like that was quite interesting to me, I'm not gonna lie there. Anyway, that's just been my experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope one day EVs do make it into the mainstream off-roading experience. I know range-wise, consumption-wise, this suddenly started gulping down electricity, and at one point I did look at the range going like, uh-oh, isn't that dropping too much? But then the uphill part finished and I descended, and on the way down it was just regenerative braking and fictional braking all the way down. Anyway, just wanted to share that quick reaction and impressions of this off-roader EV, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.